সবাইকে কাঁদায় তুমি নিজেও তত কাঁদলে খোদা নিজেও তত কাঁদলে
People should be able to hear me now. I hope you guys can. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you are just getting in, then go ahead and tell us who's here. I have in front of me a way to see all the comments. I tried to, you can do this thing where you show the comments in the live stream, but I'm worried it's taking up my bandwidth. So I'm going to hold off on that and maybe try it for the jam. We're going to do one more jam. We'll do a class Thursday. It'll be kind of a beginner class. And we're going to go back to paddles and pick up where we left off on paddling, and then maybe work something else in depending on what happens. Say hello, everybody. Nice. So I can see all the comments, by the way. That's what I was trying to get at. So some people are commenting from different places. I want to be really quick. One thing is always keep in mind that there's 3 streams. There's Twitch, which is totally free. Hello from California. Hey, Serena. Nice. Gretchen. Anyway, there's 3 streams. There's one on Twitch, totally free. You can create a login, I think, with your Facebook. And then there's one on YouTube. And both of those seem to be the most durable for not getting pulled down for copyright. New Jersey's in the house. Sweet. Carla, thank you, everybody. I don't know if I'll be able to read everybody's name, but I'm really appreciating it. Leslie, everybody that's signing in and saying that they're here. Let's see. Yeah, and so I don't know what's going to happen with the lockdown, but I'm planning on keeping this Monday class going. Saturday jams will probably fall off, and we'll just see if there's interest in a Thursday class too. But this class I'd like to keep going because I'm just having fun doing it. I hope that everybody's doing okay in lockdown. My Facebook feed is going crazy. It's just obvious. And one of my sort of thoughts about that is when you don't work the body, when it doesn't move, I think it gets angsty. And I think it makes us a little crazy. And so hopefully these classes, if you're doing every one of them, that'd be like 3 hours of hooping. But, you know, I hope these classes will help get you out of that if you're feeling crazy. I mean, we've got to all be crazy. I mean, we're all doing a brand new routine. Well, almost all of us anyway. Anyway, so I want to get started about the class, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that there's a way that I teach in workshops, which is very big Baxter, and then there's a way I teach in my local classes, which is more of a, not little Baxter, but just I work more on nuances, and we don't try to cover as many things. So tonight is going to be a very HoopPathy weekly class, where we focus mostly on, we're going to focus on angles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some, I'm going to teach angles, and then we'll take a break, do a free hoop, let you loosen up the body any way you want to hoop. Then we'll come back, and then we'll do some more, okay? And hopefully this will all work. I'm going to be using, I'll bring this up, I'm going to be using a long set, a DJ set, for the angle hooping, and it's from my man Lucky. His SoundCloud is Lucky Burns. He's on again, off again DJ, but he's awesome, and I really dig this mix. So I hope it won't get us kicked off. Hey everybody, thanks for saying. Oh, Asheville, nice. My parents live in Lake Junaluska. Anyway, so let me go ahead and get started. The class. There's one thing about this class. There's a concept that is going to be very important for the class, and it has to do with the way that we see the body in the hoop path. And the body in the hoop path, and when I say that in the hoop path, I mean like in the classes and the culture that collected around it. The body is seen as two trees. So you can imagine that I have one column of push here and one column here, and they're round inside of me. So they're one column that goes from my shoulder, all the way, or the side of my head, all the way to that foot, and that's a tree. And we name those trees based on the current that the hoop is traveling. I'm going to go all over this again, but I just want to get you before you start moving. Today, we're going to work on a pretty complicated concept called, well, maybe complicated for some of you, called internal and external rotation, because I really think that that really can help key you off on angles. This is definitely a big hoop class. If you are the kind of hooper that likes to move around between different sizes, this is probably more of a big hoop class. And then one thing I want to say about beginners, or to beginners, is I have heard that there is pressure to get small in a hoop, that somehow you're made fun of if you're big. Forget all of that. Most of us that hoop don't perform, and we're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it because we love it. Hey, Emily, we're doing it because we love it. And you should, instead of like jumping on some sort of achievement, hamster wheel, just do what you like. And the reason that people think I have this huge, gigantic Cadillac of a hoop, I hoop with a 38 8, and I've done that forever. And I just like it. I just like the way it looks on me. I like the way it feels. And like, if it helps you, you could just pretend you're me and just, I don't know. I don't want you to, but like, you can get into my persona if you want to, and just hoop the way you want to with the size that you want to. It's a beautiful thing. I actually miss the really big hoops because they were beautiful to watch go around. So anyway, let me get started with this. We're going to start off with sway. If you're new to the class, this is a free-form movement. You can do any move any way that you want to, and I will be talking into the mic to kind of offer you some opening help, but you can take or leave what I say. And actually tonight, because we're doing core, I invite you to stretch during the first 3 minutes of the sway, to just stretch any way that feels good to you. I'm going to be probably swaying and stretching myself. I know I look silly when I do this stuff. I never thought I'd be performing sway. But, you can follow me, but really you can just do anything you want to. And we're going to do that for about 3.5 minutes. And then at the 4-minute mark, we're going to get up and I'm going to talk about this internal and external rotation. All right? So I hope you guys are stoked. I am. And let me know if you have any problems. Or Netherlands. Wow, sweet. Hey, Sarah. Okay, so we're going to bring some music on here. Remember, this is a sway. And the sound should be... Yeah, there we go. The sound should be pretty consistent the whole time. So let me know if you need me to turn anything up or anything down, but you probably won't have to worry about too many sound hikes. All right, as I said, you can stretch, move. Anne is going to join me tonight in sway, which I'm stoked about. Say hey to everybody. And she'll give you just one more visual reference for how she sways and how she opens up. And remember that every night it's something different. I always sway with my blindfold on. It just helps me get into my body. So if you have one, you can use it. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Stretch. ritual that they practice when my band gets to a certain age, where they send her away from the home, and she goes on what is essentially a walkabout, a long walk. And there was one in my band that was on that very long walk, and it was the first time in her life that she had ever been in the deep woods alone at night. And it was scary for her. She was probably about 15 or 16 years old. She couldn't find her landmarks. She could only see just a few feet in front of her. But she had been where she was. She hadn't wandered that far. She knew she had been there, but it just felt so different. Her name was Pasha, and she kept saying to herself, "But the sun will rise, but the sun will rise, the sun will rise." And she shook with cold, and she shook with fear, and she kept saying to herself, "The sun will rise, and I'll know where I am again. The sun will rise, and I'll be born again." Audible breath in. Okay. Hopefully everyone's still with me. Kansas City, welcome. The mic is pretty muffled. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Let me bring that up a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Thank you, Jen. Okay, so as I mentioned, the body is seen as two trees. You have a column of push here and a column of push here. And when I move back and forth into a sway, I am talking. Can you not hear me? Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Let me know. I don't want this to be... There we go. Hopefully you can hear me a lot better now. Okay, cool. So I shift my weight from one tree to the other tree. And those are columns of push. Now I started taking yoga and I'm really bad at it. Just not very good at it, but they gave me a concept there that I have since learned is everywhere in movement, but it's called internal and external rotation. And what we're going to do is talk about our two trees externally and internally rotating. So I'm shifting my weight right now, but if I shift over, external means turning away from the heart, and I turn that tree, I externally rotate it. And then I'm going to take this hip and I'm going to send it back over to the other side. Good. And then I'm going to externally rotate that hip, and that's going to throw this other hip forward. And so this is what it looks like. I come here, externally rotate, this hip comes forward, push into it, externally rotate. I hope that makes sense. Good. I can reverse this motion, you don't have to, and internally rotate. So I'm here, and now I'm going to internally rotate, and it's going to send the other hip back. So I rotate from the hip that the weight is on. I'm rotating inward now, internally. And this is what it would look like in full range. Good. And this is me going back to an external rotation. Now this is where I want you to go off on your own, because I can begin to externally rotate my arms, I can internally rotate my arms, and I can create new movement, new ways of moving by just working on internally rotating. I'm changing my palms so that you can really see what I'm doing. So this this is me. If I externally rotated my arm, see how big my chest gets? Internal rotation, I can close up. Audible breath in. If you are stepping like I am, I can use external or internal rotation to start the step. I'm turning and then I step. Turning back and then I step. I hope that's making sense, and I hope that you can hear me. I am talking, and I hope it's coming through loud and clear. All right. I'd like you to pick up your hoops right now, and we're going to jump into our big hoops now. My hoop is put it the one place I wouldn't forget it. And there may be some times where Anne is hooping and I'll be describing what she's doing. Okay, so we're going to start Lucky's jam now. And it's upbeat. I'm not responsible for the lyrics, but I think the lyrics are decent. and thank you, Lucky, for providing, being willing to share your music with us. All right. Thank you guys for all your comments. It's really helping me get everything dialed in. All right. I feel like this is a slow build. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is just start a waist rhythm. And we're going to start off tonight with loose feet first. And what I mean by that is just feet that are moving. And this is one of those things where, you know, if you're not feeling the dance, just move your feet. Just make it an activity. Good. A big part of the reason that I hoop, there's a bunch of big reasons, but one big reason is what it does to my body, how it makes me feel afterwards. Tonight is one of those classes where if you can stay with me through the full 45 minutes, I can pretty much promise you that you'll feel great at the end of it. Not all hooping is equally physical. I don't think balance is as physical, but angle hooping is very physical. Now, before we get into any sort of specifics here, go ahead and see if you can activate the hands. This is usually a big step for beginner hoopers, is to activate their hands. And if you really don't know how to move them, just do things like punches or pushes, or just do weird, crazy stuff. It doesn't really matter what you do because you're getting your heart rate up. Just try to relax. Try to relax. The body's so much better at learning when it's relaxed. Again, this is Lucky Burns. He's on SoundCloud. This is a free download, this mix, if you do dig it. But it's nice and upbeat, but not too crazy. And if you can, reverse. This is called second current for most people. One side of the body throws the hoop, the other side catches the hoop. You can kind of feel that. I mean, there's, you know, variations to that, but basically that's what's happening. And so when you reverse the current, you're giving your body, not just your flow, but you're giving your body a chance to achieve a certain balance. And for longtime hoopers, I think you'll speak up to this, man. You start to climb steps differently. You start to catch things with your non-dominant hand. And it's all from activating the non-dominant. You don't have to have a single view on Instagram to suddenly discover that you have a whole side of your body. Like, people used to ask me how much weight I had lost. It was more like, what had I gained? And I had gained my non-dominant side. Reverse. Now, this is called rooted hooping, and this is where I keep my feet in the same space. And this can be pretty tough with a super small hoop. But what rooted does is it doesn't take away the legs, it just forces them to be a little more efficient, and you dig and push into the ground. Now what I want you to do while we're rooted here is separate your two trees, okay? Now this is going to be a little technical. The way that the hoop is spinning determines the trees. The side that feels the hoop first is called your AM side, and the side that feels it second is called PM side. So I'm going to the left, my hoop is spinning counterclockwise. My AM side is my right side, I'm touching it now. This is important. See if you can teach your brain how to recognize the two trees. This is me putting an emphasis on my right tree. It's probably backwards for you guys. And this is me putting an emphasis on my left tree. And I can wake up both trees by just going straight up into a balance. That's still rooted, right? But that's not necessary right now. We're just trying to feel the two trees. You're going to get a workout tonight.
This is for my motherfucking club heads, feel me?
Cool. If you're a waist hooper, this is for you. I love it. Reverse. Okay. Hopefully you're still with me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the two trees, and now we're going to talk about internal and external rotation. And this is something that it's kind of a yoga teacher type thing, and I don't mean to diminish it by saying that, but it's like a nuance type search. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to focus on the path of contact as it rolls around you, creating that rhythm. And then from there, you're going to bring your focus into the body and these two columns of push. Right now, there's two dowels pushing around. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to internally rotate both trees. I'm going to internally rotate both trees. And you'll feel like your power from both trees sort of fills into your center line. Hopefully you feel what I'm talking about. And then I can externally rotate the two trees. Right, just turn, I can't watch you do this. This is a feel thing. But you externally rotate the two trees. And what happens for me is my chest almost immediately gets big again. My abs start to stretch across. In. And then out. And then I can play with variations of that, right? I can turn those trees and push them out. And then, externally rotate my arms, kind of a palms up type thing, and feel that. If you want to take a couple steps, of course. I can internally rotate my arms, but externally rotate the core, and I feel like a cool type of stretch there. Do you feel that at all? And so then, I hate telling people what to do, but then you can begin to play with these rotations while you're waist hooping. So you're keeping a simple flow with the waist and then playing with these external rotations. For instance, this is me waist hooping. I'm internally rotating my left tree, what for me is my AM, and I'm going to externally rotate, which is hard to do, the other tree. And it's weird, when you externally rotate, you kind of feel like energy. Not to sound totally hippie, but you sort of feel energy go out. I do the same thing here. Good. Good. Reverse. And then we'll put some wheels on it, just loosen up a little bit. A lot of angle hooping is core hooping. So we're going to work on the shoulders. If you're new to the shoulders, you're going to stick what we call the PM arm, the hand that the hoop is coming forwards, into the hoop's current, elbow deep or as deep as you can get it. Turn and pull it up and pop out into mountain. Arm in, pop out into mountain. We'll go now. Good. Oops, sorry. I'm a bully. And you can keep moving your feet. If you don't know the difference between internal and external rotation, internal means that I'm taking this column of push here, like imagine a circle, and I'm going to turn that circle into my heart center. I'm going to turn it inside of my body. External means I'm going to turn it outside of my body. I'm going to turn it out towards the arm here. I'm going to turn it out, and it's a feel thing. All right, so we're back here. Hopefully that helped you. What a lot of shoulder people do when they first learn shoulder hooping is they internally rotate both shoulders. They internally rotate. And what happens is they create kind of uneven surfaces. There's sort of a round surface on the back, and then this kind of hop across the front, and it creates a bang on your arm and puts a pretty good bruise on it if you're using a big hoop. So what can help sometimes is to externally rotate. Take your hands and externally rotate them, and your chest starts to get bigger. And then if you can, if you're still learning, push those arms out into mountain. If you can, reverse. Externally rotate. Externally rotating that AM shoulder and the PM, but the AM especially, will keep you from doing this kind of thing where I'm just throwing my shoulder in front. I'm going to externally rotate. We'll try to pull the shoulder back and push out. Reverse. Beautiful. Nice. And I'm going to give you a sense, just a shoulder hoop or on the waist, just playing with this internal and external rotation. Some of you may notice you're naturally externally rotated. You can't push in. Sweet, Trinity Star, my favorite. There's lots of cool hoop sponsors. I really like them though. They're quick. You can get the hoop I'm using right now on that website, trinitystarhoops.com. Come down to the waist. All right, how we doing? We still got energy? How long have we been going here? It's not too long. Okay, cool. All right, we'll try a couple of more internal, external rotations with the hoop on the waist, and then we'll probably take a break, play a different song, let you free hoop, and then we'll come back and talk about angles. But these are steps, and I can feel that rotation. Maybe this will help some of you find it. If I come up onto one foot, if I internally rotate that standing leg, like that means I begin a twist that starts at the bones inside, and then take a step, and it looks like this. I'm externally rotating right now. And all it is a nudge. I mean, other muscles are going to push. Nice. Other muscles are going to push you over. Heart rate should be getting pretty high right now. You're going to feel great after class. That water, that kombucha, that beer, that glass of wine is going to taste really good. 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 All right. Hopefully you guys are feeling that. All right. I'm gonna mix it up, and we're gonna move a free hoop song in here, and you can hoop any way you want to, just to loosen the body up, and then we're gonna come back to that mix again. This is Subaqueous and Drum Spider. It's a great jam. I don't think you need a demo. Do you wanna go? No, anything. It's free. I'm going to be using movements that are not core. It's a free hoop if you're just joining us. Anything happens through the stream, I'm on Twitch and I'm on YouTube. You can free hoop. You're going to move any way you want to. If there's some cool move you've been wanting to work on, this is your time. Whatever you are doing, though, you can keep as a frame in your mind those two tree ideas and that external and internal rotation. If you're waist hooping, you can develop cool ways to move the arms by rotating them inwards or rotating them outwards. For joining in. This is Ann Humphreys. She and I have been in lockdown together. Any way you want to hoop, this is the free hoop. Loosen up the body. This is Subaqueous and Drum Spider. They're on SoundCloud, Bandcamp. Old school Monday night. That's right, Kathy. Long time HP. if the music's good, if it's loud enough for you. Right. Free hoop, any way you want to move, any way you want to move. One thing you should know if you ever go to a HoopPath jam or if you ever go to a HoopPath event, when we're getting down, when we're going off, you don't apologize if your hoop goes away from you. Only if it hits somebody. But if it doesn't hit anybody, even if it rolls at their feet, you don't apologize. Because dropping the hoop is not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong. Sweet. Thank you guys for the sound check. All right, sweet. It comes back. Well, actually, yeah, maybe I'll leave it on. We'll go another minute, too. Yep. 2 columns of push. Tammy from Oregon. What's up, Tammy? We are connecting so many different places, right? Happy Easter. Beautiful. Welcome back. Okay, we're going to bring our music back in from earlier. And you're going to go back into whatever hoop you want to learn angles on. What do I do with my hoop? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, we're on the waist. All right. Now, the first angle that we're going to start off with is earth angle. Earth angle is when I'm looking down at the ground. Okay, and I'm going to give you a couple of pointers for this. The first pointer is that when I say, earth, let me see if I can get my, okay. When I say earth, what I want you to do is lift your heels up off the ground and use that to get bounce. A lot of times when people learn this, they want to dig their heels in and they wind up pushing back into the extension of their leg in the wrong way. I don't know if there is a good way, but what we want to do is keep the legs bent and lift. Okay? Now the other thing we're going to do is the hoop is going around you, and what I want you to do is, this really helps. If I take my AM tree, the tree that the hoop it hits first as it rolls across, makes contact first here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that tree, especially if I'm learning angles, and I'm going to take the tree, I'm just going to imagine that I'm taking it like this and I'm pushing it down. So if you're going to the left, it's your right side and vice versa. So when I'm here and I start to say earth, I'm going to take this tree, I'm going to take the AM side, I'm going to turn it down and look at it and then start to lift my heels. Earth. If you're new to hooping, this is hard. It looks easy, but it's hard. Now I'll show you a couple of things while I'm here. This looks totally silly, but I try to keep a flat back as much as I can, maybe pull my shoulder blades back. And I'm looking at this tree to establish the current. And then once it's here, I'm going to try to find push, equal push, from my right side and my left side. And once my body figures that out, I can pretty much do anything I want to with an ankle. Mad props to Anna Hoopalicious. She's the first person that I ever saw do this and make it look cool. And she's actually a hooper that once I saw them do it, I was like, I'm doing that. If you're normally a bouncer in your dance, this can be good for you. Press with the legs up into it. And we'll come back and I'll try to help you into that. And you can keep going if you want to there. But to get into earth, I'm going to the left. Doesn't matter, we can reverse it. And I'm going to take this tree, I'm going to look down at my hip, and I'm going to turn my whole hip down. Earth, 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 earth. The first tree, the AM side, determines how the hoop is going to roll across. And sometimes if you can work out the placement of the hoop as it's coming across there, it smooths out your angle. Now, I think I did this in the first class. You can go all the way down if you want to, but the more I push back into my legs, the more I need flexibility, and the more I need movement of just my torso or my upper body. And I can bring it back to lake if I want to. If you're not breathing hard, you are in good shape. I am breathing. All right, we'll try some more earth angle. Dip that AM side, that first tree side. I dip it first, and then I fall over in there. And then you'll find the right groove. I mean, like literally the groove on your body that the hoop rolls around for you. And again, if I want to go all the way over, I've got to get some pace on the hoop, and I really have to use my abs as push, because I can't really push back as much because my legs are extended. Good. How y'all doing? I hope you're getting it. All right. Big breath in. Now, if I want to lean back into sky, it's pretty much the same thing, where I'm going to lean back, and this time I'm going to take my first tree, my AM side, that's the side the hoop hits first when it's in front of you, and I'm going to turn it up and then out, like sort of like that. Like that. I'm going to turn it out and up towards the ceiling, but put your focus on that first tree. Sky, 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 sky. Now this is an ab killer. Can you imagine how sick everybody's going to look at the beach next year after working out for 6 weeks in a row? Good. This is sky angle. I'll show you an angle from the side. And what really helps, going back to that rotation, that external rotation, is I take my AM side, so if I'm going to the left, that's my right side. If I'm going to the right, that's my left side. And if I externally rotate that out instead of in, it helps flatten the hoop and makes it much more manageable for me to keep it right where I want it to be. Don't do this. This is T-Rexing. Good. Good. Back to the waist. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope you're getting some of this. Reverse. This is for the badasses out there. Little second current. Just keep doing it with me. If you're brand new to this, just keep trying. Just keep trying. Everybody starts somewhere. I'm going to the other current. So it's still going to be my AM side, but they've switched because the current has changed. So now the side of my body that feels the hoop first is actually my left side. So I'm going to dip that down, bend that over the current. That's going to create a nice, good slant for me. And then I'm going to use my legs and my heels and everything else I can to keep the hoop in front of me. This is second current angle. And if you're doing this, you should feel pretty good. Most of core hooping is something that looks a lot easier than it is, and it takes a long time to really polish your movement there. Sweet. I'm going to come back up, and you can do whatever you want to. And I'll show that again. I'm in second current. If you're just stuck on first or in first current, that's totally fine. Now, as I push down this tree, going to the right, my left side turns down. It bends over. I imagine it bending over. And that creates a nice push into that angle. Heart rate should be up. You're going to get a workout. I promise. No matter what your focus is, I did a podcast about this. Movement makes you better at everything. Nice breakthrough. Movement makes you better at everything. Whether it's hooping or yoga or just getting up and dancing, it makes you better. It makes your brain better. It helps you deal with your anxious energy. It helps you deal with that impulse to want to hit back. Good. Back on the waist. All right, you guys are doing great. I hope it's helping. I'm going to play one more song and let you free hoop. You can work on that or anything you want to. And then we're going to come back and do angles on the shoulders. I'm going to keep the energy kind of up. You can free hoop. You can hoop any way you want to. Heart rate up, heart rate up, heart rate up. Give me 10 more minutes. We're going to finish on time tonight. Give me 10 more minutes. Any way you want to hoop. We need that a little bit louder, I think. All right. That sweat that's rolling down your back right now is detoxing. It's detoxing you. It's letting all that stuff out. Hoop any way you want to hoop, any way you want to move. I'm just doing the core just because we're about to head here. I just want to make sure I'm warmed up for it. I had a great practice working on this class today. If you're a hoop teacher, I cannot emphasize enough practice. It's where all your good ideas come from. Your time in the hoop. This is Fort Knox 5, if you guys know this one. Fort Knox 5 is one of my favorite acts. I got to see at Burning Man. Thank you, Fort Knox 5. It was just another set for you, but it was life-changing for me.
Booker 45, fired up!
Right? Right? This is chest hooping. This is when my arms are totally out of the hoop. Chest hooping is really good. If you're working on bracing up your shoulder hooping, work on bracing up your chest hooping. I'm going to externally rotate my shoulders. Right. Back and shoulder flow. Any way you want to hoop, I just happen to be core hooping right now because I dig it. Those are directional paddles. We'll talk about those later. Directional. They create cool look. Any way you want to hoop, you can take it off the body. Just digging the core right now. Almost there. One more minute, and we'll finish off with angles with shoulder angles, shoulder earth, and shoulder sky. Right?
Best of luck to all of you. Bye.
Yeah, it's such a good act. It's so fun if you guys see them. They're a fun act. All right, here we go. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, we'll go right here. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, and you want to come back in and join me here? Now, I'll tell you, one of the reasons that hoopers wear no clothes is because it's a lot easier to hoop that way. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you're getting busy and need to take a break, this is on replay on YouTube. Okay, so with the shoulders, I'm up here, and it's actually the same philosophy we were doing before. You take the AM side, and you turn that shoulder down and in. Look at that shoulder, and turn it, I'm sorry, not down, but down and out. And that tends to flatten the hoop, all right? So I'm going to the left right now. So my right arm, when I want to go in, I'm going to even look at it just to make sure I'm focused on it. I'm going to use it to turn the hoop down and up, but then I'm going to bring my elbows up. My elbows are up here. You're welcome. My elbows are up here. I'll show you the side view here. Instead of here, my elbows are back here, and that really helps me open my chest. And if I externally rotate both shoulders, both trees, I get wide. The hoop wants to make us small. I get wide if I externally rotate and push the chest out. Right? Now if you've done this before, there's never a time to take a break from getting better, unless you just want. Just doing it makes you better, but I can put it on wheels. This might help some of you. I push up. I'm pushing up from my legs, but it's coming through my back. Instead of bringing the arms in here, you're going to want to bring them in. You're going to want to tuck the elbows close in today. Instead, push them out. Good. That's earth angle. I'll start it over, and you can keep going if you want. I'll do it again for you guys. I'll show you from the side. This is the arm that I'm going to use. I'm going to lift those heels again. I'm going to use my legs again, but I'm going to turn it down. It is kind of a turn in. But then once I get here, I'm externally rotated out. Let me switch to the camera here. Yeah, I'm externally rotated out. And then, of course, you can do the same. It's kind of easier to do that all the way bent over thing in shoulders. Shoulders are really kind of the sweet spot for hooping. Sure. I'm here, I'm on the shoulders, and I'm going to turn. So if it's going to the left, it's my right shoulder, vice versa. I'm going to turn that down. It's like I'm going over the hoop, but that bounce is what really keeps momentum on the hoop. It also helps, if you can, to put a little bit of left and right. This is called crisscross push, pushing from one foot through the other shoulder. Boom, boom. That might be a little geeky, but see this bounce that I get? I'm pushing with my left foot forward here, right foot there. And if I do that again and again, I get a lot of momentum on it. Sorry, am I crowding you? Right. Reverse. Not good. First current, second current. You're welcome. If you're new to shoulders and you want to get better at it, this is kind of hard to do with a microphone, but you can neck hoop and then bring one of the shoulders and touch your ear. Either shoulder's fine, but you bring one shoulder up. I'm going to use my PM shoulder. It comes up. Grab the hoop. Bring it back. Right? Okay, we're running a little bit low on time, so I'm gonna bring the music down just a little bit and talk. Oh, you got it, sweet. If you get a breakthrough, you should share it because you're in a room full of people that give a hell. All right, let's talk about angle on the sky. We're gonna finish with this one, and then we'll have some slower free hoop songs. Angles on the sky are really made easier by using your arms. And here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna lean back, and the hoop's gonna be going like this. What most hoopers do is they keep their arms down here, internally rotated, both of them. And what you want to do is externally rotate them and bring the elbows up so that you can see the hands. The current will be here, so that you see the hands underneath. So I'll show you what this looks like. I'm going to do it with the hands because I think you should do it this way until you learn it. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go back into sky, sky, sky. I'm still taking that AM shoulder. I'm kind of dipping it down into the current. That means the side that the hoop is coming onto. But my hands are out here, and they're externally rotated. So I'm here, and I'm out. Instead of being in like this, they're externally rotated. I'm rotating them out here. And the hoop isn't hitting my chest. It's going right, it's hitting the chest, but it's not hitting the low chest. Like it's just bouncing right kind of on my sternum right now. And then all of my gas on the hoop is coming from my bounce. I'll show you what my arms are doing. Now most people, when they are struggling to learn this, it's their AM arm. It's the arm that the hoop hits first when it's coming into day that is the culprit. And usually what happens is they're so used to keeping their shoulder in day that they can't really get it. So you need to take this shoulder, this one right here, and rotate it back. Good. You're welcome, Victoria. Thank you. Now, if you're struggling, if you have one angle and you're trying to get the other angle, you can do a barrel roll, but you're just gonna do a half a barrel. And I'm just gonna turn. You guys are gonna see my night side, but I'm just gonna turn, and then I'm in my earth. If this is my better angle, I'll pick up momentum back here. And then one quick way to do this is to take your PM leg. You don't have to do it this way, but take your PM leg, pull it behind your AM leg, and spin that way up into sky. So I'll show you again. I'm here. Hopefully you see my feet. My PM leg is the leg that the hoop is coming towards right now. I'm gonna bring it back behind my AM and then spin there, and I'm up in sky. Man, you're doing great. The lighter your hoop, the more you have to move, okay? Good. And if I want to, I can walk. This might be a little advanced, but I can walk the hoop from earth to sky. It's called chiing the angle. To chi the hoop means you move it without touching it. Right. Oh, lost some momentum. I'm sorry about that. Watch it on replay. I'm bouncing here. Watch how I'm keeping. See if I externally rotate, it helps flatten my back there. So both shoulders, my whole core opening up, like my arms turning away from heart. Yeah. The smoothness, the more body parts you recruit, the smoother it is. This is one leg. The other leg. Reverse. Oops. Here we go. Right. Oh, ooh. Everybody drops their hoop. I was trying hard. All right. Big breath in. Yeah, it takes a while to learn both sides. Takes a while to learn both sides. Nice, Anne. Good. One of the things I'll just point out that she's doing really well. I knew I'd jinx her. But see how her hands are wide apart? That's helping. They're not staying in the same place. Like if we were taking a long exposure of her, you would see her hands moving, but they're not moving like crazy. Now she's just getting good bounce all the way through the legs. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to wind down with some free hoop. If you have to head out, I know it's been right about 8 o'clock now. We're going to do just a couple of free hoop songs, and then we'll get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Oops. Thank you so much. Yeah, if your hoop is wanting to walk on you, if it's wanting to angle, usually one of the first trees is going too far forward and you need to pull it back. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing right now, but this is me in an earth angle. And what a lot of people don't realize is sometimes there's a slant to their shoulders. You see that? There's a slant there, and it happens in sky a lot. And so sometimes when you're back like that, you need to level out. I don't know if you can tell what this is me putting one forward and putting one other. I'll do this in sky. You might be able to see what I'm doing. This is me in sky. This is me leaning way one way. My shoulder is really dropping back there. And this is with me dropping the shoulder back here. And you probably don't realize it, but you have a sweet spot that you're just missing. Arms out here. Little Minority Report. This is anti-spin with my arms, and this is moving with it. You guys are very welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're in our free hoop now. It'll be this song and then one more kind of chill one. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back Thursday with kind of an intro to HoopPath class. We'll be picking up where we left off on paddles. You guys are very welcome. Thank you very much. You guys are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you got a good workout in. I hope you feel great. If you took any video, tag it, show it to me. Wow, that's great feedback, Tiffany. For those of you that aren't reading, she writes, just want to share that when you were saying that thing about the sweet spot, that hit home. I found it really helpful to go into a paddle and break on the sky angle and playing with where my shoulder was placed. Thank you, Tiffany. That's great feedback. Hopefully that'll help somebody else. Thank you so much, everybody. You've been great.